So how much do you think my clearance is?
It'll be less, so have you driven lowered cars before?
No. Hey guys, we're here with Ben. He runs Bulletproof Automotive and Unplugged Performance. Bulletproof is
Hardcore Japanese car tuning, JDM tuning, a lot of GTRs, a lot of really aggressive track cars, which we're trying to push the Tesla aftermarket to eventually with the Model 3, but this is our background, is hardcore tuning.
And yeah, we're gonna do some stuff to my car. So we're here now, got the car up on the lift.
So what we did is a little bit more complicated than the average spring. Most people are familiar with linear springs and progressive. What we did is we created a dual rate spring. And the idea with the dual rate spring is that it's basically like two linear springs where you can choose independent first and secondary rate for the springs. And what we're putting on this car is a dual rate spring that has two different rates. The first rate is about 15% softer than the factory spring. The secondary rate's about 15% stiffer than the factory spring. So the end result is that when you're cruising around town, it should in theory feel a bit softer than stock because the rates are actually softer than stock. And then when you load it up in the corners, it'll have less body roll and it'll be stiffer than stock because you're basically activating the secondary spring rate.
So we're placing this bad boy right here.
So yeah, you'll notice, obviously this is, you know, a single spring rate, it's linear, and you'll notice the difference with our springs where you'll basically see they're kind of sectioned or stacked where there's a transition period between rate 1 and rate 2, so it'll look visibly different.
Cool. It's so clean. I can touch it and not be dirty, unlike some of our cars around our shop. What's going on in my car? Tires still off. Yeah, I would imagine there's some idiots out there that are probably taking these things and cutting the springs.
I hope not. I really hope not. A Tesla? I really hope not.
There's some people out there that do some stupid stuff.
I trust you on that. I've seen my fair share of that, for sure.
You guys know what I'm talking about. You do some stupid stuff. I'm curious to know how it's going to ride on the way home. Like if I'm going to notice that it's softer on the freeway.
I hope you do. You know, we have probably, for this version of the spring, there's a couple hundred people out there running it, and we got a lot of emails of people saying that they really loved how it turned out and they can feel it right away. So hopefully you have the same experience.
Well, the whole concept of lowering it and getting a smoother ride, it seems so just not right. But so is that the motor right there?
Yeah, it is.
That's it, huh?
It's amazing something that small can, you know, smoke cars that have 400 plus horsepower, that have V12s even.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much when you have good tech.
All right, looks like the car's gone, so it must be up front. So let's go find and take a look.
Let's do it.
Let's see what Ben did to my car. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Happy. Ben.
All right, man.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited for you to drive this thing. This is what it's all about.
Yes.
It looks good, but it's all about the driving experience in the end.
Yes. It's gonna be awesome. Easier to get in. So how much do you think my clearance is?
It'll be less, so have you driven lowered cars before?
No.
Well, you got an angle, you know, when you enter and exit, just so you can kind of learn your clearances. It's definitely a lower car. We kind of consider this ground clearance similar to, you know, like to use, you know, car people know a Porsche 911 Carrera is kind of this ride height, and then lower would be kind of like a GT3 RS. So you're a little bit, you're no angle right now, you're dead in. So this is probably the worst way to do it right now.
So,
but if you can clear it here, you're probably okay. This year.
So what you're saying is I should be angling this thing a lot more.
Or you can try nosediving it and see what happens. But Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, it's good. It's not too bad. No, you made it sound like I was like gonna totally bottom out. Well, it's definitely smoother than the 21s that was on the other one.
Yeah, rubber band tires.
Yeah, this is good.
And obviously we got some extra weight with 2 passengers, so it'll drive different with you solo.
So like around in my area in Ladera Ranch, we've got those turnabouts. So I like to kind of hit those a little bit harder.
Yeah, it'll definitely corner more flat around there, and I think you'll pick up some grip, and it'll feel a bit different versus stock.
I can't tell if it feels lower, but it definitely, the ride doesn't seem too much different than before. Like you were saying. I mean,
Yeah, most people.
This street isn't the best, but
well, you know, bad streets are as good of a test as good streets.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can feel on this street, and I can't imagine. Like, it's got to be much smoother on the freeway.
The real test of the engineering is, again, it's
hard in the corners.
It's really that duality. You're gonna make it right here.
Okay.
The real test of the engineering is really the duality of, is it equal to or more comfortable on the street, and does it handle better in the corners?
I definitely feel a little bit lower.
By the way, I should note that the general rule of thumb is whenever you change suspension, you should have the car realigned.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. So you're no angle again, dead end. You made it. You're good.
I'll see that. And you can say with confidence, moderates are fine. For idiots like me who don't know how to take a driveway at an angle.
Give me a post-test drive recap.
To me, based off of the roads that we drove on and the overall feel, like, I think it's a much better improvement. I mean, the ride quality feels smooth, and those are some bumpy ass gross roads.
Hawthorne's not famous for their smooth roads.
Yeah, so I mean, for there, like, it felt to me like the normal ride, so I'd be curious to know when we drive it home, and then when I start taking it hard in the corners, it'll be interesting to kind of feel the difference there. I mean, I haven't done too much of that yet, but I'll probably do it more just to test it.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
That's what they're made for.
So that's what I'm probably gonna do. We'll test it. Don't worry, you get to test it with me.
Because it'll
Yeah,
look,
would you like to test it?
it'll look sick. It needs like a front lip too.
Oh, I didn't tell you? Coming back from Urbandale at 100, drove over my front lip.
You mean the one you double stick tape?